Hello, everyone. This is Archive of 12, and today I am visiting some older Stupendium songs, specifically Christmas songs. I was suggested by a couple of people who watched my reaction for North Pole Corporate Takeover. I don't know why that name escaped me for a second, but the North Pole Corporate Takeover. A couple of people commented that I should check out some of the older Stupendium songs, and I know that Stupendium's Christmas songs, typically speaking, are horror themed. And I did just react to Christmas in the Backrooms. But I am curious about this one. This one was actually directly referenced in the um what is it? The North Pole Corporate Takeover. And I didn't realize that it was directly referenced until I saw this pop up on my feed while I was editing that reaction, which is the reason why I've put a pinned comment down there saying, "Oh, I didn't miss the bar. I just didn't know that it was a bar at all until I got around to trying to upload it and I saw this." So I'm going to react to this now. This is 4 years old. So this came out 2020, and I'm very curious to see what kind of song this is. Why it was like name dropped directly into the North Pole Corporate Takeover. So that's what we're going to do today. Link will be in the description below if you want to watch this without my commentary. So we'll be pausing. I will be talking about it. And also down below is a link to my Patreon where I react to a bunch of different TV shows and anime uh, that many of which you can watch for free just by joining as a free member. And I have additional reactions for individuals that subscribe to my $1 and $3 and up tiers for the subscription model. But you know, don't have to. But if you want to see additional content, longer form content, similar to what I do with the Amazing Digital Circus, you can check it out there, and it'll be in the description below, right with this song. Um, but without further ado, let's check this out and let's get into the Christmas spirit and see exactly what Stoops was cooking 4 years ago.
Now I'm no wizard, and I'll probably be slayed when I say that I don't wish that it was Christmas every day. Cause resulting economic instability would inhibit the facilities that exhibit all that's Christmassy. 3 weeks we'd all be sick of the nativity, winter the tinsel and gritting teeth at the festivities. And all the time people spend finding pine needles, we'd soon see the futility of Christmas trees. Trees shed their green things, yet they see the time is fleeting. Season's greetings would weaken with weeks of repeating. Going on and on, but holiday would just create monotony. There's a reason that the season is a reasonably brief thing. Of course the shops, they're likely to lie, cause there's an awful lot of things that they would like you to buy. So apart from a few barbecues in between, Christmas ends around June and starts again in July. So grab your favorite beverage, raise it up, and know that Christmas is a christened by lights on a truck. It's a time of year to hold near the ones that you love, so I hope it's more than coke you get a toast with that cup. Because we're known to give up when the outlook is grim. The world's so turned around, there's no wonder it spins. But Christmas is forgiveness, so forgive it its sins. Raise a glass, just bask in the wonder it brings.
Okay. So this is like the polar opposite of the North Pole corporate takeover. Like, that song was talking about how corporations have kind of, essentially monopolized the spirit of Christmas. That was the entire premise of it. Like I mentioned before, it reminded me a lot of the fine print and a little bit lesser of the data stream, but mostly the fine print, which for people who don't know is the Stipendium's The Outer World song, which is talking about how corporations basically own your soul and you can't do anything without proper paperwork and without permission. Um, that was kind of the premise of the North Pole corporate takeover, just with a Christmas vibe on attached to it. This song here is the opposite, and I actually really like this. Obviously, this dropped. This is the remake in 2020. I don't know what the original one sounded like, but this was very clearly talking about like right when the pandemic hit. We were going in. We had already been in lockdown for a year. Uh, Many of us hadn't seen people for a long, long time. the world had literally been completely upended. And this song is talking about how, because of the fact that the holidays are so brief, it makes us cherish the feeling we get around the holidays more. Now, as someone who works in retail, the feeling I get around the holidays usually ranges from agitation to flat out um, annoyance, with a little bit of rage mixed in, depending on the person or depending on what allocated pies they decide to send my bakery. But in general, the feeling of camaraderie, of peace, of love, of joy, that is something that I think we all can recognize and cherish. And I like the fact that this song is highlighting that aspect. It's talking about how, it should only be 3 weeks a year, 4 weeks a year, so that way we cherish it more. Because if it becomes, a lot of people will talk about wanting Christmas all year round, but if it becomes the normal, it's no longer special. Does that make sense? Like, if we get used to that feeling all the time, then that feeling goes away. And I believe that that's what Stoops here is saying, and I really like that message. It is a very powerful, potent, and honestly, like it's a message that you should take to heart. That, like, this is a special time of the year. Like, these feelings shouldn't just be reserved for Christmas or for the holidays in general. For anyone who doesn't, practice Christmas or whatnot. Like, this is a feeling that you should have all year round. But we shouldn't rely on the holidays to bring it out of us. That's the message I am personally taking from this, is that, like, if Christmas ended in June and started back up in July, and we relied on that to bring that out of us, then we'd eventually grow bored of it. But just because it is a very fleeting moment, it is 1/12 of the year, we should allow it to have its time, but we should honor that spirit continuously. Maybe I'm reading into that a little bit, but that's what I'm gathering from it.
May be apt to assume me hypocritical for my apathetic attitude towards the biblical. But you don't have to put your faith into a miracle to see the one thing will always stand empirical. No matter how you decorate the trees, the world is not a pretty place to be, and all it takes to see all of the hate and greed is perchance to glance at your HD screens and we replay these scenes. We say sweet dreams, we rest our heads in our beds and forget the screams, sound drowned by the festive sales machines. My ground would have been grateful for tangerines.
And I think that's a message also that needs to be said. Like, those images that we just saw here, like I said, this came out during the pandemic. There were a lot of things going on between individuals rioting and protests going on, like you see here. Like, these are things like trans lives matter, Black lives matter. Uh, you know, what was that? Black Power. We all know what these symbols mean here. Like, those are things that became very prominent in 2020 and unfortunately are still prominent to this day. You see an individual here who's sleeping, who's trying to sleep amongst all this chaos. He's got a please help sign. He's homeless. These are things that got exacerbated through the pandemic. They got worse, and more people started suffering because of that. Because the pandemic basically destroyed so much, and we're still to this day kind of rebuilding. And then the commentary about the fact that, like, we are dreaming about like PS5s, while back 60 years ago, 70 years ago, our grandparents would be lucky to just get some food, because that around then was the Great Depression. Like, these are all messages that, like, I feel like people take for granted. Like, there's a lot of problems in the world right now. And that's what Stoops is saying right here in this section of the song is there are a lot of problems. We shouldn't forget that. Like we should use the empathy that comes from the holidays to try and overcome these problems. To really try and make something that matters.
Drowned by the festive sales machines, my ground would have been grateful for tangerines. So give me cold as December. It's not the gift you get, what you spend, or the splendor. It's a hearth and a heart where we all come together. I light that coal, we can share in the embers. So whether you believe in the immaculate, you're undecided or you're sided with the secular. Yeah, whatever is your spiritual vernacular, sharing that warmth and you'll have something spectacular. So grab your favorite beverage, raise it up, and know that Christmas isn't christened in by lights on a truck. It's a time of year to hold near the ones that you love, so I hope it's more than coke, you get a toast to that cup. Because we're known to give up when the outlook is grim. The world's so turned around, it's no wonder it spins. But Christmas is forgiveness, so forgive it its sins. Raise a glass, just bask in the wonder it brings. It's time to focus on what's important, so raise a toast. Set that smile aglow to your friends, to your families, to tomorrows, to the ones we have lost since a year ago. But every year that wait feels shorter though, and I know it's not a nice thought to know, but the years that melt by just sure as snow, and we've only got so many more to go.
That section there hit a little more personal than I expected it to. um Specifically
Families to tomorrows, to the ones we have lost since a year ago.
that line specifically because this will be the second year without my mom. And I didn't really like I've thought about it a couple of times, but I didn't really like connect that dot. Um Not in any particularly serious fashion until I heard that line. Because this is going to be I lost my mom right before my birthday um last year in October. And Christmas last year sucked. Sucked big time. This year, I've had a lot of successes since then. Hit 2,000 subscribers. Got my first couple of paychecks from YouTube, which was monumental for me after working for almost 12 years on YouTube to try and get monetized. Actually earning a little bit of money to put in my pocket and to use to help buy this house for as little as that those $527 I earned from this year on YouTube was like it still was something that helped me get a new house to actually purchase it with my partner. Like a lot of things have changed in that year. But not a day goes by that especially during the holidays that I don't think about my mom and I wish that she was here to share in my success.
But every year that wait feels shorter though, and I know it's not a nice thought to know, but the years that melt by just sure as snow, and we've only got so many more to go. So hold them close and make the most. And as you make that toast, you taste that roast. Be you guest or host, know you've been blessed with those who have impressed the most. In the wax of that candle in your chest, and know there is no festive ghost who'll let you try again. Take you back and show you what might have been. So cherish each moment you get to spend, because the present is a gift, share it with your friends. And raise it up, know that Christmas isn't christened in by lights on the truck. It's a time of year to hold near the ones that you love, so I hope it's more than coke, you get a toast to that cup. Because we're known to give up when the outlook is grim. The world's so turned around, it's no wonder it spins. But Christmas is forgiveness, so forgive it its sins. Raise a glass, just bask in the wonder it brings. So whatever your Christmas festivities, spend the day in a church or in a onesie. Enjoying turkey and roast beef on nuts and goat cheese. Be grateful he's playful, but spare a thought for those who won't be. Yeah, the world's going off the rails, and we need more to fix it than trinkets and retail. But this season, love and family will always prevail until we riot over deals in the January sales.
It's always Coca-Cola. Tis the season, it's always the real thing. Coca-Cola. It's always Coca-Cola. Tis the season, it's always the but it's more than Coca-Cola.
That right there might be the single most powerful Christmas song that I have ever heard. And I don't know if that is specifically because of my personal connection with it and the things that I connected to, or if it really is that powerful. Maybe a little bit of both. But I don't think that I've heard uh, a Christmas song that has affected me the way that one has. Like genuinely. I feel like there are a lot of songs out there that I have heard. That one hit a little harder than most. I'm going to be sharing that everywhere to this year. Every single thing, every single media post that I can make, I'm going to make it and share that. I know it's 4 years old, but I think it deserves to be heard by especially by people who normally wouldn't have listened to it. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you for joining me. I am Archava12, and I will see you in the next video.